Folks, welcome back to the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network. Today on the program, we have a delightful set of 3 decorative ducks. Folks, this is a level 5 whimsy alert here because these decorative ducks are wearing bows. Now, I do want to go through and show some more details in each one of these delightful little ducks. But before I do that, I want to catch up because I feel like it's been a pretty busy couple of weeks in the holiday weekend. And just check in on how everyone's doing. Yeah, so Nancy, how was your 4th? Right. Did you make it out on a boat like you said you wanted to? It was a rowboat, but that still counts as a boat in my book. That's fine, Nancy. Good. And then Barb, how was yours? Barb says she had a quiet cookout with the neighbors. And did you make that corn salad again? I gotta get the recipe, Barbara. Why won't you share it? Okay, good. And then Bruce? You didn't feel much like celebrating. Right, well, how come? Bruce said he had a summer cold. That's the worst. It's the worst. Feeling better now? Okay, well, since you are feeling better, I do want to tell you, please do not eat your lunch on my display table here. Thank you very much, Bruce. It's just a couple of crumbs I gotta pick up, you know. Yeah, Bruce, you know that song? You know the song that goes, "You can eat crackers in my bed anytime." Yeah. It's just like that, except you can't eat crackers on my display table. Ever. No times. Yeah, but how was my 4th, my weekend? Well, I'll tell you, I had a girls' trip with my ladies, long overdue. You know, it's been over a year now. But we got together and stayed at a friend's house, and it was really lovely because, you know, she's got a pool, so we had some pool party time, which was great. And my friend Raquel, she's the chef. I told you about Raquel. She made a delicious gnocchi. It was such a smooth, like a, oh gosh, I don't know what was in the sauce. There was definitely a heavy cream based sauce there, and but it was so good, so great meal. And then the next night we had a steak salad. It was delicious. I was thrilled to have her preparing some meals. And then this was my first time doing this because I went to the store looking for the angel food cake in the bakery section. Didn't see one. Surprising given that it's summertime. And so I said, "Oh, I'll figure out how to make the angel food cake," right? So I'm calling some other friends. Raquel's more of a chef. She's not a baker. So, well, we can make it. It turns out for an angel food cake, you have to, you put it in the bundt pan, the kind that's got the, oh gosh, there's these sections and ridges around it. It makes a beautiful shape, very festive in the shape. But within the pan, when it's finished, you don't want to let it rest and cool off in the pan, so you have to flip it upside down. And she says, "Oh, you get a like a bottle or something, or a can, and you rest the whole cake and the bundt pan and everything upside down to cool off." I said, "Okay, I'll take your word for it." And luckily there was, used bottle of Prosecco from our girls' weekend, so we were able to use that, and it cooled off just fine. So that was a lot of fun. And then, summertime. Lots of great strawberries in season. So we put some strawberries from Fresh Whip on it. Delicious, delicious treat. And because there was a pool, and because I've started a little summer gig teaching water aerobics. Can you believe it? And so I said, oh, you know, girls, I'll lead us in some water aerobics, you know, in the morning at the pool before it gets too hot. And I think they enjoyed it, or I'm pretty sure they did. But we had a lot of fun. You know, we've got a routine to Proud Mary. You know, so we're rolling, and you're rolling in the water, right? It's a lot of fun, and I've been enjoying it this summer so far. We'll see what other kind of routines I can come up with. Yeah, Nancy, you got to come to class sometime. Love to see you there. Love to dance with you. Barbara's telling me, okay. Barbara, I thought you were doing the moves, the roll in on the river moves. You're saying wrap it up. Okay. Will do. I'll tell you what, I'll wrap it up if you give me that corn salad recipe. All right now. Okay, but we do have a lot to talk about with these really delightful ducks. Or is it a goose? Honestly, I'm never sure. If it's a Canadian goose, right away, I know I can identify that a mile away. Well, maybe not a mile, but football field, 100 yards plus, Canadian goose. This could be a goose, a white goose, or it could be just like a white duck. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter because it's just an adorable figurine that you're going to want to have in your home. Now, where are some places you can put this lovely duck goose in your home? The first and most obvious is in your kitchen. So I've got it on the gingham right here. We're talking blue gingham bows, red gingham tablecloth, country kitchen out the wazoo, really. So it's a pretty sizable duck. So with a duck this size, if you have a large window or a bay window they could sit in, they would certainly be at home there. Or you have one in the living room, and then you put the smaller duck in the kitchen window. But they really do shine in a window, kind of looking into the household. But that's just one kitchen option. Another option is in the bathroom. You know, ducks, geese, they're in ponds, they're in water. So it really makes sense for them to be somewhere where they have some water access, right? And that could work especially well in a bathroom if you're going for a farm bathroom. You could do farm bathroom, farm kitchen. You know, ideally the bathroom's got something a little more coastal, beachy, but there are geese and ducks at the beach. So, kitchen, bathroom. Now, I want you to think about how these could really bring a lot of inspiration and fun to an office desk. So, if you've got a sizable enough office desk where you've got your word processor, maybe you've got a dot matrix printer there too. If you could fit one of these on the side, that's going to tell everyone that you mean business, but also whimsical business. And it's going to give you a lot of fun and inspiration during your work day. You could also do it, have it in a cubicle as well. But people are probably going to be stopping by your cubicle, wanting to say hi to the geese every day and strike up a conversation. So just be ready for that. Just be ready. Okay, you could also put this in your foyer by putting it in the foyer, however you want to say it. Your guests will walk into the home, okay? And the first thing that they will see is geese and ducks. So if you've got a a credenza, some sort of a table where you can set these out, and perhaps there's like there's a little lamp, a small, tasteful lamp on that table, credenza, whatever it is in the foyer, and it casts some light on these delightful ducks, these gorgeous geese, whatever they are. So the foyer could work, and it does really make a strong first impression when you've got guests over. The laundry room, again, talking about water access, things like that. The laundry room could be really fun. Say you've got like a little hamper, something in a wooden, oh gosh, like a wicker hamper. Wicker and gingham and duck and goose go together really well too. If you've got a dentist office, you want to include something like this, because this is going to be really welcoming to patients as they come in before they have any dental procedures or checkups and cleanings and such. And there's something duck dentist. There's something there. There's a connection. I don't know what it is quite yet. Beaks, perhaps, mouth. And then you could also, now you'd want to have it secure and maybe only do the smaller one. You could potentially put this on the dashboard of your vehicle. Look. And then you would want to make sure it's adhered with something really strong. But that would really make for a fun decoration. Yeah, I can't imagine why you'd put a duck on your dashboard, but somebody might do it. And last but not least, okay, these are ceramic. Porcelain. My apologies. They're porcelain, and they are hand painted, but they are sturdy, okay? So they're not going to break too easily. So it could be a situation where you put these on your front porch. Now, I'd want to do that only if it was a covered front porch. Not one where these are going to be getting a lot of rain, wear and tear. Certainly don't want to expose these to a hailstorm, obviously. But something where they're partially covered, but more than a pergola, right? It needs to be a full covered roof situation to keep these at their best and keep the bows fresh as well. So that could be a situation where these are on the front porch. You're probably going to have, the mailman, milkman, whoever's coming by saying, "Wow, I love those ducks. I love seeing them every time I come up here. They bring me so much joy. Thank you for sharing your whimsy with the neighborhood." And then if you've got them on your porch, it might be a good idea to think about getting a custom painting of sorts, or some sort of duck goose motif on your mailbox to match. So then you can be the duck house, the goose house, something like that. And when people say, "Well, where's your house? Which number is it?" Just say it's the one with the geese. It's the one with the ducks on the mailbox. It's a lot easier than remembering a number, things like that. So those are some places you can put them, keep them, but just do keep them together. Look at how happy this fun little duck goose family is. The little beaks. Getting ready to have some peas. I don't know what they eat. Some duck geese friendly food at a lake or something. Wow. Well, Barbara's telling me that we already have a caller on the line. Okay, caller, go ahead.
Hi, this is Marcy Nace from South Carolina. I have a swamp and a dream. And my dream is to steal one of those geese from the Sleepy Keys Tingle Network with total disregard for its worth and well-being, and then stick it by my swamp.
No. Mancy, no, I'm going to cut you off right there. I'm afraid these do need to be kept together, unbothered, and never exposed to swamp-like conditions, as that would be horribly disrespectful, callous, and inhumane. So, moving along. You can see that these beautiful geese have lovely hand-painted details with the yellow-orange beaks, the little feet, and then this smooth, glossy glaze on the porcelain. But what I think is the most interesting aspect about these is the red eye on the goose. Now, it's interesting because you don't see, I mean, I don't usually get that close up to a duck or a goose to get a good look in its eyes, but I didn't know they're red. So this could be just a, aesthetic choice by the design manufacturer, or perhaps that's the color of a goose's eye, and I just never noticed. But if I could get you to zoom in here. Earth to Bruce, zoom in, please. As you can see, this eye detail is almost like a ruby gem, right? It really adds to the appeal of this goose because it glistens. So when this is in the kitchen window, the porch, the sun catches it in the foyer, you're going to get that beautiful red ruby glisten from the goose's eye. And you don't see many details like that in other ceramic decor, but you're going to get that beautiful glistening red in the goose eye. How beautiful is that? Now, this one, perhaps it's because, he's snacking on something down on the ground. I don't know what's going on. Now, this eye's a little bit loose, so it's out a bit. This particular set's going to be on available 50% off because of that irregular eye. But it doesn't take away from the beauty, right? It's okay. I think it's still so gorgeous. And if you wanted to, you could disguise it just putting this one in the front, something like that. So, configuration-wise, really the possibilities are endless. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but I guess you would multiply something by 3, by something else. But I have a feeling it's a lot of different combinations on how you could arrange these, right? This one does need to be flat, like so, because just the way that it's constructed. So it could be something like that. Happy family here, like that. Bows looking at each other. Yeah. Again, like I said, it's endless. And then one other fun thing you could do. Say these were on the front stoop of your house. You've got a little weekend trip yourself, and then you've got a neighbor kid coming over to feed the cats or something like that. You say, "Oh, well, you need a key? Just look under the big duck on the porch." And there's a hole on the bottom of here. There's a manufacturer's mark on the bottom, right? You could put a little key or something in there. Say, well, the key's hidden inside the duck. And don't get it stuck in there because you don't want them to panic and then slam it down and break it trying to get the key out. But you get the idea. So this one will be easier. Say the key's under the duck with the weird eye, right? With the eye that's falling out. And they'll know exactly where to look. And this one just doesn't hold quite as much. Anyways. So it could be a little hiding duck. Little duck, duck, goose. Where's the key? Where's the whatever you want to put in there? Something else to consider with these ducks, and Bruce, if you could get a graphic going that says Christmas in July. Christmas in July alert, right? Because I'm looking at these beautiful geese and I think, my aunt would love a set. My great aunt would love a set too. The neighbor lady down the street. that lady on the PTA, it's kind of rude, but you know, we're trying to work through it. Anyways, these would make an amazing gift for anyone for the holidays. And the holidays aren't that far away, right? I'm talking, gosh, it's going to be August before we know it. And then it's September, then it's October, then it's November, and then it's December. And that's how time works. That's how calendars work, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is I don't want you to wait till the last minute and decide that this is the perfect gift and then we're sold out. Or you don't have time to get it shipped to your home because it's too close to the holidays. I worry about that for you. So, Christmas in July. Think about that. Consider ordering these today so you're prepared for the holidays. But say you just want to order them for yourself. I get it. Budgets can be tight for summertime, you know, whatever time of year it is. So maybe you just get these for yourself. Or, and you love it, and you keep it. It decorates your home. You're hiding your keys in here. But maybe you do want to use them as decoration all year long, because this is kind of a spring summery look, right? Because of the ducks and the gingham bow. Let me show you something really wild here. I got a really wild idea. Say now it's the day after Thanksgiving. If you're waiting that long to decorate, you add a little tinsel to your decor with your ducks. Then you can take off or leave on, up to you, the blue gingham bow. Oh, naked, don't look. You grab a little bit of your Christmas ribbon, this one being a nice thick with the bendy wire line edges to it. Grab a little bit of that, cut it at a diagonal if you want for that nice finished look, or you know what else you can do, you fold it in half and then you cut at an angle, look, and then you've got that fun finish. Either way, you could do that. Now you're going to tie this in a bow. Oops. The thick ribbon makes it a little more difficult, but you get the idea. Pull this through here. So now we've got a fun green bow, and I want to add a little something extra. So I've got this set of jingle bells with yet another bow. So now this duck's got two bows on. Look. And look at that with the tinsel. Bam. Merry Christmas. Now you've got yourself a Christmas goose. How beautiful is that? And, you know, you could add it to each one. You could do a red ribbon on one, then green, and gold. Really have fun with it. Get creative with it. And, you know, there's going to be a little glitter, of course. It's okay if these geese get a little glittery. It's fine by me. But yeah, so that's another way you can take it from everyday decorative goose to a Christmas statement goose, right? Add a little something there. Wow, that's gonna look so great in a foyer. Or you could even put it next to the tree, or wherever we've got a nativity set up. And you could even get really wild with it. And you've got your three wise ducks, something like that, where you get them set up, and then you can decorate them with a little shawl. I don't know. Just an idea. But you know, Christmas comes but once a year, And so how else could you decorate these? Well, taking the bows off, getting rid of the tinsel, and now we've got a St. Patrick's Day, right? Well, St. Patrick's Day duck. Or Arbor Day. And then green's also the signature color of Groundhog Day too. So you could use a different color bow for any different holiday that you like, and you just all you have to do is switch out the bow, and then you're done decorating. The geese, the decorative geese really do the heavy lifting for you by just being cute, right? So there's a holiday, that's a holiday. Well, what other holidays are there? Well, Maritime Day. I don't know. We've got, if you've got some different yarns and things laying around, you know, make it what you want. Perhaps you want to bring a little bit more of a, oh gosh, a fun dress-up look. And then you take, this is just a little handkerchief I found. Take that handkerchief. Look, how cute is that? Maybe if you had some little tiny glasses, that would be cute. Put the handkerchief on. Or, how classy would this be? You ever seen a goose wear a necklace? Now you have. Now you have. How sweet is that? Too sweet. Too sweet. And then back to the holidays. Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't get that quite, but see, look at that. Look at how it fits nicely. That's cute. What a classy goose. Other holidays. Easter. Put an Easter egg on the goose. Now it's an Easter duck. Or they could just be like around. They could just be around the ducks, right? Something like that. And then again, you could hide an egg in here, an Easter egg. That would be a great spot. Just don't forget that you put it in there and then have it go rotten. Ants will get to it, something like that. Oh gosh, now this hat's gonna be too big, isn't it? Yes. But you get the idea. If you have a little hat, got a fun hat you could put on the goose. Gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely put this set on my front stoop. Everyone's gonna be envious of how cute my lovely geese are. But they really do look best in gingham. So they come with the blue and white gingham bows. Goes with everything. But then again, you could add another color. So maybe it's Halloween. You got a black bow with a brooch you've got laying around. This one's a pumpkin, so that could be a Halloween decoration. Talked about Christmas, and then again blue. Something about blue, porcelain, and goose just looks really good together. So you can really decorate them however you like. Maybe you're having a disco party. do a little sequin bow, right? Really brings out the sparkle in that eye too. Or remember what I told you about the clip-on earrings? You can take a clip-on and just attach it. Look, now we've got it. Now we've taken this goose from day to evening, right? Day to night. How classy is that with the little rhinestones? Look, the possibilities are endless, folks. And I need to wrap it up. So all I have to tell you is that this is a one-of-a-kind special offer where we've got a whimsy alert and a Christmas in July alert. 3 delightful ducks, whimsical geese, yours today for just $29.99. Now don't wait to call because these are for sure going to sell out. So do give us a call soon. Sleepy Keys Tingle Network, Whimsical Geese duck collection. This particular one's 50% off because of the eye. Yours today for the low price of $29.99. Okay, I do hope you'll call soon.